What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Like to wish you guys a happy Friday, and you know what that means. The Story Time with Stock Market Steve live stream starts tonight at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. All are welcome to attend, and it'll be an open forum tonight. I'll just get on here and talk with you guys. The viewer got a lot of new subscribers, so it'd be like a meet and greet thing. So if anybody wants to join in, I'll answer some questions you got, and we'll talk amongst ourselves as family. And speaking of family, man, there are a lot of things, you know, ups and downs in families, but the true resilience is sticking together through thick and thin, no matter how bad things get. But sometimes families get put through things that they're not expected, and it creates a whole bunch of turmoil, stress, and only the strongest families survive. What I'm talking about, and the reason why I brought this up, is something I couldn't believe yesterday that came across my news feed. One of the stories we've been covering, or one of the stories that really took off when this channel, the Dynamic Reason channel, started, was the Tyre Nichols case out there in Memphis, Tennessee. You guys remember, January 2023, this young man was on his way home when he was stopped by the Scorpion unit out there in Memphis, Tennessee. And police officers pulled him out the car, beat on him. He ran from the first stop. Second stop, he was viciously beaten. It was shown all over the world. 2 officers took deals already, and 3 officers, Tredarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith, pictured up here, went through the gauntlet of the criminal justice system in both federal trial, which they were found guilty of conspiracy and other charges, and then, in a shocker, found innocent in the state of the murder of Tyre Nichols, which was appalling in itself. In the federal case, they were supposed to be sentenced. They kept prolonging it, to where the state, which was supposed to match the federal sentencing guidelines and their conviction, which didn't happen because they were presumed innocent, the feds were supposed to be sentencing them. They kept prolonging it. Now, news then came out yesterday that they're getting a whole new trial because of that controversy where the judge recused himself or removed himself from the case at the time when they were supposed to get sentenced. And now they're getting a new trial. So the sentencing don't mean nothing. I want you to take a look at this video. I told you before, the justice system, as of recent, has been absolutely laughable. And it's a smack in the face for these people that have endured so much at the loss of their son and the way he was lost. Take a look at this video, and we will come back and get all over this, y'all.
News is first at 5 tonight on your news leader. A federal judge has granted a request for a new trial for 3 former Memphis police officers charged in the death of Tyre Nichols, Tredarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Greg Hurst is off tonight. WREG's chief investigator Jessica Gertler joins us now with more on this breaking story. Jessica, this caught some folks by surprise.
It definitely did, Stephanie. We just got the order. The request for the new trial centers around allegations involving the actions of federal district judge Mark Norris. So the defendants claim Judge Norris was communicating with the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI outside the courtroom. So here's what we found out from this order. On October 3rd, 2024, officers were convicted in federal court. So 5 days later, Judge Norris's clerk was reportedly shot in the chest. May 30th, Judge Norris meets with an assistant U.S. attorney and the special agent in charge for the FBI office. He wanted to know why the feds weren't working on this case. He believed the shooting of his clerk involved gangs, and one of the defendants was in a gang. He felt MPD was infiltrated by the gangs. June 13th, he recused himself from the case. Although a new judge found no evidence that Judge Norris did anything wrong on the bench, federal judge Cheryl Lippman decided to grant a new trial. And John Keith Perry told us earlier that he's the attorney for Tadarius Bean. He gave us this statement. While Judge Lippman is a stickler for rules and procedures, her actions have always upheld the judicial integrity of the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Tennessee. And he went on to say, and we will proceed according to the future orders of this court. So we'll have more on this breaking news story tonight on News Channel 3 at 6 and 10. For now, investigating for news leader Jessica Gertler, WREG News Channel 3.
Ain't that some shit? That is absolutely unbelievable. I have never seen no shit like that. If you looked at the timeline, I think it was August when they were found guilty. They're talking about all the way back in April, May. The judge, before the trial even started, his clerk got shot and he was talking to the DA. That's a separate matter. These people were found guilty in the court of law. Your court. Federal court. The jury didn't know nothing about that. Hell, none of us knew anything about that. And that trial wasn't even up yet. I want you to think about that. What does having a new judge have to do with a new trial? They were already waiting for sentencing. They were found guilty. I told you, if it don't fit the narrative or it don't fit their plans, it don't matter. The justice system don't really care about you. It only cares at what's at hand. And this right here shows proof of it. You got a new judge. All she got to do is pass down the sentence. Why the fuck they got a new trial? They put in for a new trial. Always some funny stuff in the work. This is before the trial even started. Now all of a sudden, the trauma these family has went through, they got to go through that all over again. The videos, the beating, they got to keep reliving that. They're still in a mournful state. I know these people. Rodney and Rovon I know them personally. Ate dinner with them. They're good people. They come from a good family. I met their immediate family and family members out there in California. This is bullshit. I want you to think, man, this is Listen, if me or you, regular folk, had got sentenced, right? Or had got found guilty in a court of law, how many of you think that a judge that got involved in something that ain't got nothing to do with the case, right? Months before we went to trial, we was found guilty. They was going to sentence us. They kept prolonging it. The judge removed himself from the case. And all of a sudden now, that whole trial don't mean nothing. That guilty verdict don't mean nothing. The jurors found them guilty, not the judge. The judge sat there. I was in the trial. The judges sit there. They just watch the play out. So how the hell does that reflect on what happened to this boy or this man? What you think? It's bullshit. It's always some bullshit with the justice system, and you seen it play out in real time. Now, that guilty verdict don't mean, that guilty verdict in the feds don't mean anything. Now, they're talking about what happened before. We need to focus what happened after. I told you, when the powers that be tell you to look that way, that's the way you should be looking. It's always something the other way that they're telling you not to look, and something in the works. This is bullshit. It's bullshit and it's disgraceful. All they got to do is go upon the sentencing guidelines and hand out their sentence. They've already been tried in the court of law, but you throw all that away, all the tears, all the sadness. Oh, we're going to get justice for the family. We sympathize with you. No, the fuck you don't. Because now here come a new judge. Run it back. Run it back. I'm a stickler for the rules. Okay, if you're a stickler for the rules and you on a case, the rules was that he was found guilty, pass the fucking sentence down. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? It's not right, y'all. This is not right. It's not right. I wonder how many times this happens a year where somebody gets sentenced and then they're about to get sentenced. They've been found guilty. Gotta run it back. Gotta do it all over again. Now, I want you to pay attention. This whole thing is a fucking mess. Emmett Martin III, the one that punched Tyre Nichols and beat him to death, basically all of that heavy, the big guy, he pled guilty, signed a deal. Last I remember, he was locked up because of an infraction with his baby mama or something. They locked him up. Desmond Mills, he took a deal. I seen him in court on the stand against the other three where they was found not guilty in the state murder trial. He was on the stand. I seen him. He took a deal, pled guilty. So now this whole thing is a mess. They was found innocent, but they took deals. This whole thing is a clusterfuck. It is. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. These people got to endure the trauma of going through this whole situation over again on a quest for justice. And no matter what type of justice they give them, they'll never get their son back. And now they got to go through this all over again. This is the type of stuff that tears families apart. Unconsolable grief. This is what builds that type of stuff. Besides the loss of a loved one. Here it is, 2023. This happened. And now, 2025, coming to the latter part of it, all of a sudden, got to do it all over again because a judge talked to somebody he wasn't supposed to before the trial. And then after the trial, all of a sudden, that don't count. Fucking embarrassing. This is a slap in the face to the Nichols family. Both immediate and distant relatives. This is messed up. And for this to be out in the public, if any of us, the common folk, were found guilty, we wouldn't have got new trials and we wouldn't have, we'd have been sentenced and sent down the river. We'd be sitting in the cell right now. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like I said before, justice for Tyre Nichols, man. This is foul and this is stupid. And if this was any of us, we would have, and we did that, we would have been sent down the river. Because another judge would have stood in like a substitute teacher in a classroom and read us our sentence, and we would have been sent to the river. Why can't you do that with them? This is common sense shit. And it's supposed to be common law, but the shit we seeing more uncommon bullshit than ever. Justice system bullshit. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.